Hi, my friends. Jim Holmes here, and I'm back with video number 4 in a series of videos that I'm doing about my memoir, Pen, Paper, Prayer, A True Story of Death and Life. I encourage you to visit my website, jamespholmes.com, to view all my videos as well as the other books that I've written. At the end of the last video number 3, I was talking about how prayers and well wishes from other people had helped me to heal when the doctors couldn't. I'd call it a miracle, but I feel this word is overused and it cheapens what happened to me. I don't have any idea of what to call it. I guess if miracle works, that's what we'll go with. I'll tell you about another miracle that happened to me. I'd been 13 days in a coma, most of that time on life support, and I woke up. I came out of it. I came out of my comatose state, and I was in the hospital. They kept me for 4 days, and I came to realize the gravity of my situation. And I got very depressed. I was, still 23. Yeah, at the time, still 23 probably. And this is it. My body is, I lost 30 pounds. There was nothing to me, and I was all broken up. Literally. And I got depressed. I got very depressed. I don't want to live this way. And so I fell asleep at some point in time. And when I woke up, my attitude had changed. I was like, all right, these are my injuries. Let's start on the road to recovery. Let's just get this done. Where that came from, I have no idea. But it happened while I was sleeping. And that, to me, that is just another miracle. Without it, I wouldn't have survived because my attitude was good. It was positive. I was happy. I was ready. Let's get going. I'm back in this game again. So, I don't know how else to explain it. Dying changed my life, obviously, and others for the better. First, I'm going to talk about what happened to me when I died, because it's pretty cool. And then I'll tell you a quick story. It's not in my book, of how my death experience helped somebody else. And it's in a way that I never could have imagined. It's an awesome story. I didn't have my seatbelt on when I was driving. I was a punk kid. I didn't need a seatbelt. So my body became a projectile in the car when I slammed into the tree and my head smashed up against the windshield, maybe through it, I don't know. I was there, but I wasn't. I was out of it. I felt nothing. I was bleeding. I was broken bones, punctured organs. And I felt nothing. In fact, I died a beautiful death. As my body was broken and bleeding out in my car that cold December night, my spirit left this world on a beautiful summer day. And this is how it happened. My body was in, or what I perceived to be my body, was in a house that my parents once owned on the village green. in downtown Falmouth. I was in my sister's room. I don't know why. In her beautiful brass bed. Again, I don't know why. And I was lying on my back, and my head was cradled by a couple of pillows, and it was just a beautiful summer day. The sunlight was streaming through the windows, and the windows were open, 3-4 inches, and a gentle summer breeze was coming in and out of the room, and the linen curtains were just moving with the gentle breeze. It was beautiful, and my sheets, my God, my sheets, they'd been dried outside on the clothesline, and they smelled like summer, like sunshine and blue skies, if that's possible. And that's what I remember about my sheets. There's more. I'll tell that story later. There were birds singing in the maple tree just outside the windows, and even though I died a violent death, as my real body, was in my car across town, slumped over the steering wheel, I'm assuming, with blood and brains and whatnot running out of my head. It was a December night, and it was cold as hell. But here I was. Oh, calm and beautiful, and it couldn't have been better. This is how my spirit chose to leave this world, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. Because it went up into the corner of the ceiling, where it could look down on me as I lay in that bed, and I just knew that it was okay for me to sleep. All my chores were done. I could close my eyes and, again, just sleep, because it was okay. And so that's what I did. I closed my eyes and I died. This is a good time to tell you a story about how I affected someone else's life. This isn't in my book. This happened after I'd written my book. That's my manuscript. I'll talk about that in a minute. And fast forward from my accident about 30 years, I don't know. And I hear about this thing called the Death Cafe, where people get together and they talk about death and dying, or their fears, their anxiety. And I said, hey, this sounds like it's for me, because I've got a great story to tell, and hopefully I can help some people. What do I know? So I go to this meeting, and as soon as I stepped foot in the room, I was like, oh, this place isn't for me. Because they had all these tables lined up trying to sell you stuff. Green coffins, and I forget what else, but that's what sticks out in my mind. And I'm like, how wrong is this? Because people are here looking for, someone to help them cope with the eventuality of them dying. Not a green coffin that's going to deteriorate over time. It's baloney to me. But I stayed, and eventually we all broke up into like groups of 10, and we sat at these round tables with a mentor from the Death Cafe, I guess, to keep the conversation either on point or moving along. I don't know. But anyways, she was there, which is cool. And so I started going around the table and asking people, like, why are you here? What do you want to talk about? And, most people were like, they didn't know what to say. They were there because, in my opinion, they were scared of dying. And, death to them was just a cold, black hole in the ground. For eternity, they didn't give a damn about a green coffin. They needed to know that there was more to death than just being dead. That's what I got from the comments that I heard. So, eventually, it's my turn to say something. And my book wasn't published yet. I had this manuscript. Staples must have loved me because I went and I had all kinds of stuff done. I was trying to validate my writing capabilities as well as what I'd been through. Oh, by the way, this picture, that's me when I was 23. Look at the hair. Oh my God. Anyways, that's a great story. I may talk about that eventually, or you'll have to read my book. So they get around to me, and I tend to have a big mouth. I say, when I was 23, I died in a violent car crash, smashed into a tree. And the best thing about that is I died, but I didn't feel anything. As a matter of fact, I died a beautiful death. It couldn't have been more, I don't know. There's nothing more I could ask for when dying than a beautiful summer's day that my spirit chose to leave this world in. So there's an older couple sitting across the table from me. And I see the guy lean over and whisper something to his wife's ear. And I'm like, oh, jeez. They're going to tell me I'm full of it. They're going to get up and leave and embarrass me, And the old guy, he looks at me. And he's got tears in his eyes. And he's saying, thank you. Thank you. Then his wife speaks up and says, my husband was in Vietnam. He saw all kinds of violent death. And to this day, he has trouble sleeping at night because he's so concerned about how these people died. He can't imagine the anguish or the pain that they were in. And here you've told us that you died a violent death and you felt nothing. Actually, it was beautiful. So thank you. We cannot thank you enough. Yeah, my heart's melting and the guy's crying and I'm tearing up and I go over and I hug this old vet and I'm so thankful that I could help him. He couldn't sleep thinking about his buddies that had died in horrific ways. So it made everything worthwhile once again. I would do it again. Be in that car accident. Go through all I had to go through to survive over 30 years. And it wasn't pretty. For that man, on that night, I would do it all over again. It was that worthwhile to me. All right, I've kind of gone on for a while here. I still got tons of stuff to talk about, coming about how we can help each other. So I hope you'll tune in again. And I know you know it, but love is the answer. I'll talk more about that sometime as well. So we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.